Um, well, here's a question to all of y'all. What were your first experiences with battle rap and hip hop?
I first experienced hip hop in the '80s on the radio when it first came out, like Dougie Fresh and Fat Boys and that formulation of it. And I remember it was like a whole new sound. Like you didn't know what it was. Like I was in Houston, Texas, and this beat came on, and it was like mind blowing.
Okay.
What was the question again?
What was your first experience with battle rap and hip hop?
Hip hop, of course, way back. I was born in the '80s, so I didn't probably know until probably the '90s, if anything. You know what I'm saying? Really got into it. But battle rap, I would say, really got into battle rap about maybe 8 years ago, because my cousin told me about other battle rappers who used to reference my name and the stuff. So I used to watch it just because of that, and then to get a battle rap movie was just crazy.
Okay. What about you?
In terms of hip hop, I feel like I'm part of a generation where hip hop just felt like mainstream music. Like that was the main music that we listened to. So like Snoop and Eminem and Dr. Dre and all those guys, that was just like traditional music. There wasn't like, that was like the popular music for us. In terms of battle rap, obviously 8 Mile was a huge introduction to that scene for me in terms of understanding it. I was pretty young. I think I was about like 11 or 12 when it came out, and that was my first real intro into the new version of what battle rap looks like, where they took out the beat and it's more like beat poetry. I've been aware of it for the past few years, but diving into this movie, I have a whole new understanding and respect for the art form.
Cool. So, Joseph, so I've seen you've done some great movies with some prominent people, and so how was that process from going from doing video and then going into film? Like, what surprised you most when transitioning from music videos to movies?
Well, what's interesting is that I feel I'm a filmmaker, and I don't perceive music videos and movies that different. It's the same technology, same techniques. However, people, when they watch my movies, always go, oh, that looks like a music video style. But here's the difference. I've been making music videos for 30 years. So a lot of the music videos that you see today as a style, I've been doing it for a long time. So a lot of those things are kind of based on my style that I was doing 30 years and creating all these interesting techniques that are now quote-unquote music video language. So when they say music videos, when my films look like music videos, are they really saying my films look like music videos? Or does it look like my style?
Makes sense. So what was like the most gratifying part of that transition from just doing videos and then going into the movies?
Well, I think you can just say a lot more in the longer format and say much more complex things. When I do music videos, essentially those are messages, but they tend to be tiny messages about very specific things, as much as a song is about one thing. Movie can be about a lot of things, and that's why I feel like if I get the opportunity to have 2 hours of someone's time, I wanna really stretch what they're watching. I wanna really push a lot of ideas at them.
What both drew y'all to the roles, and what was the process for choosing this role?
Mine was taking a chance, of doing something different with my career. It's like I'm always playing a comedy guy and doing something. I never played a father in a movie, and then the words, the dialogue, battle rapper, something different. It was something new for my career, I think, and it was definitely something I should have took.
I loved how complex this role was. Adam is really an anti-hero in the truest form. He almost borderlines of becoming a villain at some points. And I loved the character arc because it is so complex. He makes really strange choices. At one point, for most of the film, he's defending his friends in the rap world, but ultimately stabs them in the back at the end. That was a very Shakespearean theme, and I loved being able to dive into that.
I kind of like that your character was, for me, a white menace.
Yeah, absolutely.
He comes in friendly. Everybody accepts him. Once he gains a little bit of power, the culture vulture comes out.
Exactly.
And I thought that was just like a fun way of doing the white guy doing rap.
Yeah.
So everybody knows about the 8 Mile and Eminem. What did you want to stay away from and incorporate creatively into the project to help the story?
Well, the first thing is that I wanted to make sure that we make a true battle rap movie in the terms of how it is today. So it's a cappella. It's much more tense than when 8 Mile came out. And I feel the rhyme schemes are much more complex these days. The second thing is, battle rap is happening at a very interesting time in America where everybody is offended by everything and everybody trips each other up. And it got to a point now where I feel like everybody is fighting, but we're at the point of the fight where everybody just says, shut up. You know, we just try to close each other down. We don't even want to talk about it anymore. But battle rap, you can't close somebody down. You have to listen to, you know, a whole round of theirs. And unlike real life, a lot of times someone wins and someone loses. That's a very interesting political way of looking at dialogue. And I wanted to have a movie that discussed that from a satiric point of view.
Interesting. So, like when I watched it, it has a lot of different, you know, messages in, which I thought was great. And so, like for Ben Grimm's character, like what I liked was that the producer, he was a family man, you know. And I could really relate to that as being a music producer, so it's just like, okay, that makes sense. But I also thought was interesting the way that you flipped the whole battle rap to show the uglier side, I guess, of the misogyny, the homophobia, and the racism. So with that being said, what is it that you want the audience to kind of walk away from?
Well, here's the reality. As much as we don't want to admit it, and as much as we kind of build the idea, this idea of a perfect human being, human beings aren't perfect. And I believe that everybody's a little racist, everybody's a little misogynist, everybody's got it in them, you know? Because ultimately, people are not the same. We are all different. And the reality is our differences are kind of funny to each other. And that's what battle rap is. It's like it goes and discusses these differences, makes fun of them. But the beautiful thing about battle rap is you're putting it out in the open. You're not just like hiding your concept of a difference in an echo chamber and talking amongst people that are exactly like yourselves. It's a way to just confront each other and say, you eat a dog, you eat fried chicken, you know, let's talk about it, right? And I feel like at the end of that process, people get to know each other a little bit more. So I think having an open dialogue that in a context where we know that we can talk about and laugh at it is a healthy discussion. Otherwise, people are just silently thinking these things without saying them and discussing them or even confronting them.